Hello and welcome to DCP Live, episode number 188. The 188th episode.
We didn't make a joke about 187 last week.
No, we didn't.
We didn't?
Yeah, we did.
That's because we killed it.
No. Oh!
Woo!
No, there was a joke. The joke was we 187.
Was it about Tefty being an undercover cop?
No, it was we 187 Pope off the podcast. That's what happened.
That's right.
Yeah. That's what happened, guys. Yeah. Well, that's the show. Nothing else to talk about in the Destiny world. Thanks for tuning in.
No,
That's right.
It's been pretty empty of a week, I'd say.
I've been enjoying my quarantinis all week.
Oh, what's a quarantini? Just beer?
That's right. Oh, whatever you got. You know, no judgments here during quarantini.
It's like you want a drink, but you haven't gone to the store. You take whatever you can have, right?
So I legit have a bottle of absinthe that before I even moved into the house, my wife had a party, and one of my buddies brought over a bottle of absinthe. And every time one of us like looks at it, we just are like, it is the most foul stuff that I've ever put into my body.
I can imagine.
I've never had absinthe. I've heard too many stories.
I don't even know what this stuff is really, but all I know is it tastes awful.
Speaking of tasting awful, there was a new quest that was introduced in Destiny this world. I mean, this week.
I give that transition an A-.
It was almost a perfect pitch, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was really
very
good.
close.
Things that taste like absinthe and bath hooch.
And bath hooch? I thought you said bath cooch. I was about to be like, what is Tefty talking about?
You know, moonshine, all right? So there was a quest introduced this week.
Yes.
Caused a little hubbub. It's called the lie.
It was a lie.
It was a lie. Just it turned out to be a lie, right?
It was tremendously difficult to do as a community, right? It's like, what were the requirements? You had to do the Seraph Towers.
Seraph
7
Towers
million
on the
times.
Planet.
9 million.
It was,
9 million. My bad.
and the thing that is really tough about it is that now they're in heroic. So
Oh.
people can't usually just go in with random people and complete it. They just can't. It's very
Right,
difficult.
and there's no matchmaking. So
There's no
the
matchmaking.
best you can
exactly.
do is get a 3-person team to go into, an event that way more people can be in.
Yeah, and let's be honest, at this point in the season, you're kind of over that event.
Yeah.
I would have been totally cool with this if they were like, okay, heroic launch, right? The week that heroic launched, and then they dropped the lie, and they're like, look, now there's
Yeah.
a reason for heroic because it's kicking off this thing. Then I'd be like, okay, and people would be willing to do it a little bit more. But the timing for this, especially right after Guardian Games, which was a grind.
Imagine doing the laurels for destinations
Bad timing.
while you're grinding those Seraph Towers. That would have made, like, it would have connected. It would have been like, okay, cool, you're working on this quest and you're doing Guardian Games. Those would all like package together. But you do the grindy Guardian Games that like already split the population, and then you drop this. And oof. So I don't know exactly what happened. They either miscalculated, screwed up something in the code, or what, but they ended up addressing the progress. They said it was not supposed to take several weeks because people calculated how much time it was taking. They're like, this isn't going to get done by the end of the season.
No, see, this was my plan on that day. On Tuesday when it launched, I was like, okay, I'm going to play Neo 2, but when I'm about to get on, the percentage is getting up there, I'll hop on and try it out. I go to stream and it's like 2% on one planet.
Oof.
I was like, ooh, maybe in a month I'll hop on and
people were calculating out, and
Right.
it's like it just straight up was not going to get done at that pace by the end of the season. And then Bungie said that wasn't what they wanted, clearly. And so they did some adjustments. And again, I just makes me wonder, was it
Adjustments? They wildly inflated how many points you got for each completion by 5x.
5 times
10x on the weekends.
Yeah, this weekend's going to be 10x for the completion.
it's going to finish this weekend for sure.
Because they want it done. They were like, uh-oh, this has to get completed. But it makes you wonder, though, was it a coding error? Like some of the completions aren't getting counted? Or they just like the interest level really is bottomed out on completing Seraph Towers.
I mean, I'll be honest with you. I don't mind doing Seraph Towers. I can throw on a Warmind build, and generally I have a good time just blowing stuff up.
Mhm.
But even I'm like, I don't know if I want to do this, especially with how difficult it can be with blueberries. And if you're just playing alone, even with a solid team of 3, it's not easy. So I was
Yeah.
like, I think I'll just wait for you guys to finish it and then do the rest
Yeah.
of the steps when this is done.
I saw the quest pop. I think I saw a YouTube video about it, like before I even saw it in game. I was like, oh God, no, I'm not doing that. It's like I just saw the numbers like that were being run, and I was like, Seraph Towers to me were mildly interesting when the season first hit.
Yeah, week
Yeah.
1.
But not like oh, this is a reason to play the game. I mean, basically, it's a public event, right?
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I've grinded a lot of public events for Destiny 2. A lot of public events for Destiny 2.
People were saying in chat are saying that it was actually miscalculated. They confirmed it in the TWAB. I read the TWAB, but I
Yeah.
didn't like line by line. I must have missed that.
Would you skim it, peruse it?
I definitely skimmed. I perused the details that I was interested in, legendary weapons. I'm like, okay, this is great. Yeah. It was like Seraph Towers. So they lowered the difficulty, so it's easier to complete, and also inflated the completion rate, so this quest can get
Yeah,
done.
they lowered the difficulty of the champion specifically, right?
Okay, yeah. Because apparently, so no spoilers, but there was some data mining stuff that there is definitely more steps to this quest.
There's more steps. Yeah.
After this is done.
Yeah.
And is it spoilery to know what the reward is? Do we already?
I don't think so.
Right. It was kind
I
of.
think it's pretty self-explanatory, isn't it?
I'll let you say it, bro.
It's the Felwinter's lie.
Oh, the lie, huh? Okay.
Wow. Okay. Hmm.
The shotgun that's going to end all snipers.
Yeah,
What if
yeah.
they debate
The
us?
shotgun that they will nerf in about 6 months.
Yes. Well, actually, once you get into TWAB, it will officially be sunsetted after about a year in the season.
Well, maybe. Definitely or maybe. Because some of the weapons are going to be exempt for longer amounts of time, right? Depending on where you earn them.
That was raids, though.
Like raid specific in...
Huh.
Is it only raid weapons that are going to be immune to this?
When I skimmed the TWAB,
Okay.
I saw.
Well, we'll go over that part in
Well, yeah,
more depth
we can
when talk about the
read
TWAB.
it. We can read it as a family together.
As a family.
The DCP fam. All right. So yeah, interesting stuff. Like by the weekend it should be done, right? Because I think EDZ as of today is already at 50-something%.
Yeah, I'll be interested to see what the next step in the quest is, because if I can just get carried all the way through this quest, hey, great. That's perfect.
That's my plan.
I think instead this should have been Iron Banner shotgun kills as a community. I think that is what the community needed.
Yeah, more shotguns in the Crucible. That's what the community needs.
Iron Banner specifically. Mhm.
That that would have been a pretty spicy spicy thing for Bungie to do, but I think it would be more fun personally overall. More shotgun kills.
And Briar's like, no.
Yeah, adding up the numbers, being
I
like,
guess it
how
doesn't
much
matter if I
salt
don't
is this
play
gonna
that or I
generate?
don't play this, I guess. So what do I care?
I feel like I would have jumped in and got some shotgun kills if it was shotgun kills.
Yeah,
for it.
maybe. Actually, I probably would have been more likely to play some shotgun only
Yeah.
Iron Banner.
I'd be like, all right, yeah, this is going to be annoying. I'll play a few games, but yeah, unfortunately, at this stage in the season, this is definitely a pretty lackluster moment. And they're clearly excited to reveal a new quest to get the community excited about this stuff for the progression of another thing getting introduced, but definitely fell flat.
Yeah, I mean, that's what some of this stuff is going to do when you're doing like the kind of the seasonal like drip feed of content. Some of the stuff is going to hit hard. Some of the stuff is not going to be so great. I saw it. I'm going to kind of spoil somebody's Twitter question, but somebody asked, like, would you guys have been happier if this was like a quest, like a something more like the sniper rifle quest, where you got like this whole new mission and this whole new area to explore? I'm like, well, that's not comparable. That's a whole
Yeah.
bunch more work than, just do a bunch of public events.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, definitely.
they wanted to
I
put
wouldn't-
this gun out there and like have a quest associated with it, but they had to use assets they already had. So
The only thing I would have preferred that's comparable is just if this was an individual thing and much less to complete the first step.
I'm okay with it being a group thing.
Oh, quest is done, huh? All right. I guess I'll get my reward.
I think it was just a mixture of a bunch of things. Bad timing after something being super grindy. Bad timing with now no one's really even doing Seraph Towers.
Yeah.
It's
And also
really
it being
bad.
bugged to be like, oh my God, this is going to take us like
This is gonna take.
30 years to complete.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, should we talk about the TWAB?
Sure. What do you want to talk about, Tafty? Tell me.
Sunsetting them weapons.
I want you to read to us, Briar. Read to us.
All right, so they start off by talking about like why they're doing it. Do you guys want to talk about that, or do we already know why they're doing it?
The sunsetting?
Yeah.
I think it's good to highlight it.
All right. I lied. I'm just gonna get right into it.
Okay.
Basically, they want the sandbox to feel interesting, exciting, dynamic, and to evolve in compelling ways. There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's an issue with if they keep on making something better than the current Recluse, then eventually the skill gap and the tacticalness of the sandbox just disappears and it becomes instant kills. So in order for that feeling of like, oh, you have the new hotness that's going to be the peak meta to keep on feeling fresh, they have to take away things that are currently in the sandbox.
Yeah, they say right now, if a new legendary weapon is better than the current best in class, there's no reason to replace your existing weapon with it, which is true.
Yeah.
If a new legendary weapon is better than the current best in class, we risk power creep, removing challenge from the game, or making the item mandatory, the only option for challenging activities. Also true. Both above points apply equally to new mods and perks as well. They say powerful weapons can be era defining, but eventually those eras need to end so that new eras can begin. We want strong weapons to have their time in the sun, and whenever possible, we want you to expect and prepare for powerful gear to cycle out of the endgame meta. We can't solve this just by making weapons that are always better than the previous ones. This will steadily lower time to kill in PvP and PvE until the combat sandbox is neither fun nor tactical.
There you go.
We also want to foster a gradually evolving meta that regularly promotes experimentation and debate. We believe Destiny is at its best when you have new desirable things to pursue, and when you have active debates with your clanmates about which one of those new things to bring into a new raid or which is going to be hot in the new trials season.
Yep.
Yeah, all those things make sense.
Yep.
The downside of this system is that everything you earn, has an end date, right? They don't really talk about the downsides of this system, right? Everything that you get from now on in Destiny has got a ticking clock on it.
For endgame. Yeah.
In essence, though, it's always been that way if you played D1.
True.
Yep.
Right?
True.
Because all your stuff in D1 is in D1.
Well, if you believe that Destiny 3 was going to be a complete wipe like Destiny 2 was.
Well, even year 1 stuff in D1 technically is not as usable as year 2 and 3 or whatever because of the weapon system, perk system, and all that.
Yeah. With these goals stated, let's break down how the changes will work. Each legendary weapon and piece of armor will have a max power level it can reach through infusion. Exotics will now not have a max power level. So exotics are immune to the system.
Which is great because I think ultimately as we go down the path of Destiny, exotics will start to feel more special because those are those things that you can take with you all the time, wherever you want to take them. And they should be. That's, there's these like power weapons in the world.
Yeah.
They should feel awesome.
There's also like Antaeus wards and like the problem childs of the sandbox.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, if they put them, if they sunset exotics, then they could reintroduce them again. we can earn the service regime for the 3rd time, 4th time.
Damn, I'm up for that. How about a Mida multi-tool?
A lot of exotic armor needs work. I hope they just say we're doing a big patch of all the stuff that heals you and makes you immune, and we are removing it. No more. Go away. Get rid of it.
Max power level for these items will be set at the player power cap attainable 3 seasons after its release. So it's got 4 seasons total. The season you're in plus 3 seasons after that. This means all legendary gear has 1 year span of time during which it can be used in activities where being at or near the player power cap is important.
It's a long time.
I think that's fine, right? A whole year?
I think that's a long time.
Any
I would have
legendary you're
gone
getting.
less time.
Yeah, any legendary you're getting for that season is going to have at least a year for it. I mean, it will have a year, up to a year.
Yep.
I'm not even willing to comment whether I'm in favor of this system or not until I see what they do with it. If they replace my old weapons with stuff that's exactly the same, and all I feel like I'm doing is playing like this keep up game, that's not going to be interesting to me at all.
Yeah. Like, I think that's the other side of it, is that these sound like great solutions, but we don't know where, like, is it just going to be chasing the exact same gun again? Like, are we going to be getting the same 150 archetype hand cannon that's a year later? And I think that they haven't answered that yet, if that's going to be changing or not.
Max power level for these items will be visible in game in Season 11, but no items will be at their max power level at the start of Season 11. So you'll know it's max power level, but you won't be able to attain that until, that power level is achievable.
Yeah. I think that's a good solution too. That makes it very clear for anybody who's not constantly browsing spreadsheets and stuff to know when your weapon or your armor and weapons have reached the max of what they can achieve. So you don't feel like you're like, oh, what if this gets increased next season or something?
Right. Maybe I should, like, if I'm in season 13, I shouldn't be grinding like a season, 11 weapon because I only got, a certain amount of time with it.
Yeah.
I should spend that time with something I got more time to play with.
Yep.
You'll be able to see what the max power level is for all your gear and plan accordingly. At the start of season 12, weapons and armor released in seasons 1 through 8 will have a max power level at the season 11 player power cap.
Okay.
I wonder if there's any weapons out there that they're so good that they're still going to be usable at a lower power level, right? Like there were definitely weapons like that in Destiny 1 that even though they got left behind power level wise, they were so fucking good that people used them anyway.
Probably Mountaintop for a little bit, honestly. I feel like, especially in trials, how big of a difference is more like going to do with Mountaintop. I feel like Mountaintop will still get you to kill range quite easily.
Yeah. On top of that, regular PvP is probably not going to get affected by this at all. Like regular control, clash, and all that. Like,
oh yeah, it's gonna be probably the same stuff. Which I don't hate it because then it does create 2 different sandboxes for you to play in PvP, which is interesting. You can
it
have
also makes
flavor.
Iron Banner feels different for a
it
change.
Does, yeah.
Because
where you get to play a different meta.
Yeah,
I like that.
Weapons and armor from the Last Wish and Garden of Salvation raids will be granted exceptions and will have a higher max power level.
I like that as well because that makes raid weapons and stuff important. It makes it, I want to go get that thing because that's going to be able to use that in endgame content for a while. That's great.
Yeah. Yeah. It definitely adds to the specialness of raid weapons.
It does.
Those are the basics, but you have additional questions such as, can I still use gear that has reached its max power level? Yes. You will always be able to equip and use any piece of gear. Reaching the player power cap is beneficial, but not strictly required for most activities in Destiny. You can continue to equip and use all gear in those activities. This applies to armor as well as weapons. Yes, all legendary gear that provides power will have a max power level. Starting in Season 12, armor will no longer have seasonally rotating 4th mod slot. Instead, there will be a mod slot that accepts mods introduced into the game throughout a full year. We recognize that the current need to replace your armor every 2 to 3 seasons, and hoard armor from the past seasons is undesirable. Transmogrification, which we talked about in the TWAB last week, will give you the ability to keep your favorite looks and apply them to new armor pieces with higher max power levels.
Cool.
This, on the surface of this, I'm just glad that I can just delete all that old armor.
Yes.
Like, just to clear out room in my inventory.
Mm-hmm.
3 months into this, I might give a totally different hot take on this whole situation now.
Yeah, again, this is one of these things where it's like, it's great to read through, and it's like, I'm excited that the sandbox is going to look different in a year, like dramatically, it sounds like. But is that going to be a better sandbox than what we have right now? Like, I just don't know.
Yeah.
We don't know what's going to replace the things.
Yeah, I'm all for sunsetting. I'm super in favor of it. If anything, the soft sunsetting is the only reason I like it is because of that whole, you can have a different meta in both strikes and raids, trials and control and Iron Banner. I like that it can kind of keep things fresh in different playlists. But I mean, I like everything that I've heard so far, except for the next bit that we haven't gotten to yet. But yeah, I like it.
When gear drops after its debut season, what will its max power level be? It will have the same max power level as it did in its initial release season. Note, this is different than gear that is reissued. See next question. Will gear ever have its max level power updated? Not directly, but gear can be reissued in future seasons. The reissued versions will have a new max power level based on the season in which it is reissued. We're going to experiment with how and when gear is reissued into the game throughout year 4. Let us know what you think of the different methods as you experience them. Oh, we will. We will.
The method, the zero reissuing method is what I would like to go with. Don't do it.
Yeah.
And maybe I'll change my mind down the line, but I feel like if you want your game to function like an MMO that is out there, which is what they've said they want to do, and that's what they've been working towards, and you're saying that you want to sunset things and you're putting this whole system together, then just stick to that. It almost feels like the reason we might want to reissue gear is, oh well, if we can't create enough weapons or enough armor, or people aren't enjoying this, let's just reissue it again. I want new and exciting things put in the game. Sunsetting is going to create those new and exciting experiences, and when you start reissuing stuff, I don't want it.
That's going to be a huge problem
if they reissue a Midnight Coup. I mean, no thanks, man.
I don't want it at all. Like, just commit to sunsetting, and that's what we're going to do. We're sunsetting stuff. This is the system that we're going to do. You have a year with the thing, and then it's all fresh and new and shiny. Just stick to it, please. I don't want anything reissued.
Yeah.
I mean, to me, I can't even see a way to justify that. If you take something away from me only so that I can re-earn it, like, that is exactly the same thing they did with exotics in the Dark Below, and it was a huge bummer.
Yeah.
A huge bummer.
Yeah.
Like, for legendaries, no thanks.
Well, you could have a thing happen where, like, a new Recluse or a new Revoker shows up in 2 or 3 years, where it's like it's just a reissue, and that would just be a bummer.
Yeah, I want it to be, you have a year with the thing. After that year, whole new slew of things. Go get the new things. I just want it to be cut and clean like that. I don't want it to be like, oh, well, we can, bring some of this stuff back and you can re-get it. I just want it, once it's sunset, and that's it. And you know that it's gone.
Yeah, I mean,
for your end game stuff.
Is it too much to ask to think that they can, like, spend enough time to make that happen? So in a year or 2 or whatever, like, they have the content ready for that, so they don't have to actually reissue some of these things?
No, I hope not.
Right?
I mean, if you look at the amount of, like, weapons and armor that they've been putting out for the last 2 years, I would say, yeah, it's too much to ask.
I really don't like the reissue thing, man. I really
man,
don't.
That's a huge bummer.
It goes down the road again that we talked about before, of Destiny not knowing what it wants to be. It's, what do you want to be? Do you want to be this MMORPG, this massive evolving world where we sunset weapons every year and it's fresh? Or do you want to just keep going back and forth of, oh, we are this, but no, we're this and we're that, and just go forward with the vision that you want for Destiny?
Yeah.
Which it's so strange. It's a soft sunset as it is. You can still use it in a lot of the game. You just can't use it for endgame.
Yeah.
It's not even a hard lockout of your weapons of them going away.
Right.
It's weird. It's weird.
This is why I'm like disappointed when I realize that Destiny 3 is far down the road, especially after this TWAB. It's even, like this is them setting forward how things are going to basically pace throughout the next few years, and that means that there's definitely not going to be any hard sunset to any of this stuff. These things are going to be in the sandbox for a long time to deal with the soft sunset method.
Yeah, and it sounds like old stuff is going to stay in the loot pool too. It's just going to not be, good.
Yeah, no, it's definitely not going to get out of the loot pool, right? You'll have
so stuff from season 8 will still be in the loot pool, but it'll never be able to. No matter when you acquired it, it'll never be able to get to current max power. So, like, why is it still in the loot pool? Like, why do I care?
You're gonna
might as well be a green.
You're gonna have people running around with Mountaintop in control, basic control still.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Bit of a bummer.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they want our thoughts on reissuing? Don't want it.
Don't do it. Reissues, boo.
Right. Yeah.
Reissues, boo.
Yeah. The thing with the reissues is if they release hot items like the Recluse or the Mountaintop or things like that, if those happen to get reissued down the road, then I think that's going to create a big stink. But if they reissue a Swift Ride or something like that, like I think it's going to go a little less noticed, and people will be like, "Oh, okay, that pulse rifle again."
I don't think it matters much. I mean, anything that they reissue, if they literally take something away, they're not taking it away. It's a soft, it's a soft takeaway. It's basically not usable in any game content. But like anything that's in that system that they reissue, and you have to re-earn, like it's never going to be as exciting as the first time you earned it. Yeah. I'm basically just repeating year 1, year 2, year 3, right?
Yeah. Well,
they wanted our thoughts. There they are.
Hopefully that sandbox is way different and more interesting with the same weapons.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, at this point, I've been talking a lot about like if they're going to do the sunsetting, then I don't want 150, 140, 180 hand cannons. I want brand new archetypes of hand cannon.
New archetypes.
So that's out of the question at this point. Like I don't see that happening.
It doesn't sound like it. But
if we're talking about reissuing, like that's not even.
Well, yeah, that's the big thing. Is like this next year of Destiny is. Yeah, I feel like it's kind of a make it or break it if it can actually survive in the long run of this type of stuff. That I personally think they need to make some big changes and really shake things up so it just doesn't feel like business as usual. Because this year is kind of a sign that business as usual is going to run stagnant pretty fast if it's just the same stuff again and again and again, especially if it's like the same archetypes with basically the same perks. It needs to be a big shakeup. They got to do something like add new classes, like you were talking about, Watts, like a darkness class or another element or something that changes things up, or they need to revamp the subclasses dramatically. Like there needs to be a pretty big shift if they're going to continue with the franchise with the way it is right now. And I personally don't know if that's where it's heading. Like what they're talking about and being transparent in the TWAB is definitely pushing it in the right direction, but it's not giving me confirmation that things are going to feel pretty different in year like 4, 5, or 6 versus year 2 or 3. Like, is it going to be subtle evolutions, or is it going to be, oh, this is a different Destiny? This feels like Destiny 2.5.
Yeah.
They also talk about rewards in the TWAB. In Season 11, they're trying something new with how and where you can find seasonal rewards. So far, every season in Year 3 has followed a formula where the seasonal activity, Vex Offensive, Sundial, Bunkers, Seraph Towers, asks for a significant amount of playtime to earn new rewards. While we believe the new content should be one of the best places to earn new rewards, we also realize that Destiny 2 is a big game, and it can be frustrating to have so much of your playtime dictated by it focused solely on seasonal activities. So in Season 11, seasonal rewards will drop from completing core activities, Strikes, Crucible, Gambit, as well as basically every other activity in the game.
I gotta say, that line in the TWAB is hilarious with what's going on right now in the quest with the lie.
True.
Yeah, I mean, obviously this is a future change, but it does demonstrate perfectly.
Yeah.
It's like, you don't say.
Yeah.
We want to make engaging with the entire game feel more rewarding, and for every play session to give you a chance at earning seasonal loot. In addition to new rewards, Season 11 also features 2 returning weapons, each from the Season of the Undying, Season of Dawn, and Season of the Worthy, for a total of 6 weapons that are free for all players.
Okay.
Over the last few seasons, we've introduced weapon bounties that give you agency to chase specific rewards. While addressing bounty fatigue will be an effort that extends beyond Year 3, for the upcoming seasons, we've moved away from weapon bounties as part of that effort. Instead, we're introducing a new type of redacted engram that contains the majority of the Season 11 rewards, and by spending seasonal currency, you can influence the contents of this engram.
This is interesting.
Yeah, that tickles my pickle a little bit.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, a little bit of a tickle.
You get to douse your engram in the sauce that you want it to taste like.
Yeah.
And you earn the sauce from just playing the game, no matter what. Like if you like playing Crucible, then you still get the sauce.
You get Crucible sauce to dunk it in.
You get Crucible sauce,
or or like
it's gonna be like bacon cookies. They're taking the cookie system. What if? And then you're just like putting it all together onto your engram to create the engram you want.
Yeah.
To clear up any confusion, let's imagine if we launched this redacted engram in the Season of the Worthy. Imagine this engram contained all the Season of the Worthy weapons and armor. Now imagine you could take this engram to a Seraph bunker and spend seasonal currency to focus the contents of this engram so it only contains the 7th Seraph SMG and shotgun. By focusing engrams in Season 11, you can choose your rewards. This includes the ability, once you've earned it, to focus engrams so they only contain Season 11 armor with high stat packages.
Yeah, that's cool. I like that. It sounds like a good grind focus. Grind.
I like it.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah. All free players and Season Pass owners will receive redacted engrams while playing Season 11. However, only Season Pass owners can access the full suite of focusing categories in Season 11.
What do you think the name of the engram is going to be? I'll go first. It's going to be...
Go ahead.
Juicy engrams.
The juicy engram?
It's going to be... We've got to go with the Dorito engrams.
Oh, that's good. That's a good one.
Good tie-ins, too. You know, easy marketing opportunity with Doritos.
Yep.
You get the spicy nacho engram. You can get the habanero
engram.
Grams.
Nobody wants the ranch engram. Nobody. If anybody's working on the ranch engram, you know they're a sociopath, and you should distance yourself.
I really like Cool Ranch.
See, exactly.
I haven't had Doritos in a long time, but I remember really liking Cool Ranch.
Yeah,
Briar, you might be.
Briar, are you?
Briar, maybe yeah.
You are just proving my point. The same people who, in a plane crash, would eat their friend and fellow podcast host also prefer Cool Ranch to Doritos.
It's called being economical.
Basically, if you like Cool Ranch Doritos, you're a cannibal. That's what we've learned tonight.
Oh, man.
Here is a preview of the redacted engram focusing categories that all players can access after completing Season 11 opening quests. Armor focusing reduces the number of awards in the engram, so it only contains Season 11 armor.
Cool.
Previous season weapon focusing converts the rewards in the engram, so it only contains the 6 weapons that are returning from Season of the Undying Dawn are worthy. So let me ask you this. If I decide to focus my engram into Season of the Undying, when does that sunset?
Oh, they said, actually, what was it? 8, 9, 11, and 12 are going to have a whole year.
Okay.
Yeah.
When Season 11 launches, all players will get 3 focusing categories, and Season Pass owners will have access to an additional 15.
By the way, I think it was 9, 10, 11, 12 season, not 8. I think 1 through 8.
Okay.
Yeah, I think you're right.
already started to get sunsetted. Yeah.
List of activities that reward engrams in Season 11. They have 2 redacted ones, which are probably going to be new. Strikes, Gambit, Crucible, Dungeons, Raids, Adventures, Nightmare Hunts, Forges, Reckoning, Menagerie, Escalation Protocol, and the Blind Well.
Everywhere.
That's dope, man. Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Great.
So if you play some Destiny, no matter what you play, you'll make a little progress.
Nice. I like that.
Yeah. I'm not forced to play Gambit for a reward.
Why would you not want to play Gambit, Briar?
Because I hate Gambit.
Why would you hate a beloved mode that everybody cannot get enough of?
Don't do this, Taffy. Don't put this on me.
Next thing you're going to say you don't like Eververse. Jesus.
Hey, no hate toward Eververse here, man. Oh, nothing but love toward my girl Tess.
She the best.
I got the goods, Guardian.
Can't wait to hear about Fenn Church.
In addition to the above list, redacted engrams have a chance to drop when defeating combatants anywhere in the system. Similar to legendary engrams, they share the same loot pool as legendary engrams. And when you hit that loot pool, you have a 65% chance, 66% chance to earn a redacted engram and a 34% chance to earn a legendary engram.
Nice. That's cool. Thick.
Cool.
That's what it should be with a double C.
Thick
Thick
engram.
engram.
I like it.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm really sold on the Dorito engram. Like, you got the branding opportunity is there.
That's good
You know,
tie-in.
next season it could be the Mountain Dew engram.
That's
Maybe
good.
this
Like,
is how
the Baja
Bungie gets
Blast.
more money to make more stuff. Is the Dorito crossover?
But I'd be
code
afraid.
In-game advertising.
I'd be afraid about them saying buy Doritos, get some engrams in game. You know, like can't be having that.
Get some
Tess is
Dorito
gonna
engram.
just fill her stock with just bags of Doritos. So you know those little tiny bags that's like
Fun
half
size.
the amount of Doritos you want,
Yeah. Snack size.
but they're $1.50 anyway.
She's gonna have vending machines all throughout the solar system.
That's right. That's right. Instead of picking up silver, you'd just be picking up Doritos.
Yo, a bag of Doritos dropping for a season, I could get behind to that. I kill a cabal and you see a bag of Doritos drop. You're like, okay, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
I think inventory is full. Like, does this armor need the spicy nacho or the regular nacho? I'm not sure. Which one do I put into this?
Yeah, they could tie into elements. You know, what would void be?
Oh yeah, right.
Yeah,
Cool Ranch.
that's arc, Briar.
That's
Get it
definitely
straight,
Arc. That's definitely art.
Briar. I think you're fired.
That was a good run. I'm surprised that lasted this long.
That was just one too many bad ideas. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I think that's it for the TWAB.
Yeah, that's about it.
It's an interesting TWAB for sure.
Yeah.
It's one of these, like, it's huge steps in the right direction, but it's very murky. We don't know,
Very murky.
right?
I don't know
Murky
if the sunsetting
waters.
is a good step. Like it could be. It so depends. Like, I'm glad that they're making a step, but I'm just really concerned with what they're stepping into, if that makes sense. Like, they're moving forward, but are they stepping in like dog shit? I'm not sure. Like, where is that foot gonna land?
I would rather see them make changes and try to get it right as opposed to the system staying the way it is for years. Personally, I don't think that's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but not all changes are good. You know, like
I'm personally a huge fan of sunsetting, kind of no matter what. It's every game that I've ever played in my entire existence has sunsetting, and that is how everyone handles being a live game
Yeah.
and making loot interesting and wanting you to chase it and being able to switch up the sandbox without having to do stuff that feels way worse than sunsetting.
I'm with you, except if they're sunsetting old stuff and just reissuing it later, like I'm not.
Well, I don't want the reissuing. Yeah.
Yeah. How about they just don't do that?
Yeah, that'd be great.
That I feel like they said that as a hey, just to let you know, in case we get overwhelmed, we might have to reissue some stuff. And it's like, don't get overwhelmed. Don't reissue. Keep that rainy day savings, all right? Monster Hunter World did that with going, from like basic normal to high gear to then master tier. And I think it's a fantastic system. There was a tweet that was put out. Skillip was talking about it, about why Monster Hunter World's community gets so much love. And like, there's still some people who are upset about certain things that are in Monster Hunter World, but overall, the Monster Hunter community is like, loves the game and isn't trying to rip people apart about the mechanics and all that. And yet you have games like Division and Destiny and a lot of games that try to make you play forever. And somebody had said that part of the reason is that Monster Hunter World has a definite endpoint where you've collected your stuff, you've hit a certain point in it, and it's like you feel completed. You have a sense of completion for your time. Destiny right now, for the past few seasons, has had really bad cases of fear of missing out, FOMO, and I think that does create a lot of angst in the community. That FOMO.
Yeah. I mean, even if you love Destiny, right? You don't want to feel like you have to play it all the time just to keep up. But you also don't want to feel like you missed something if you took a week off. And right now, you definitely will miss something, right? You could totally miss out on a reward. You can totally miss out on a quest. You can miss out on story bits that you can never see again, which I think is rough. Like,
isn't every week there's something new in Eververse that you could quote unquote miss out on? I could be wrong on that, but it seems like there's.
I don't know. I don't really look at Eververse that much, but like you could definitely miss out on stories, like cutscenes. You can miss out on weapons that were around for like a week, or like the Guardian games, heavy machine gun. You could have just missed out on that.
Yeah. It's a problem, and I feel like as a community, we said we want to be able to play Destiny forever and never give up and never turn it off because we want endless content, yada yada yada. But the flip side of that is it creates this this feeling like you have to make sure you do everything, otherwise you're going to miss out. And then if you miss out, you're going to be pretty salty about it. And then it was that time I couldn't get this one weapon, and created strife and anger with my feelings for it. And I don't think that breeds a healthy player base in the long run.
Yeah.
I think
for me, the issue is
that.
Less that I feel like I'm going to miss out, to be honest, is in that there's never enough for me to like log into.
Sure.
Like there's never enough for me to like, okay, I'm going to spend tonight playing Destiny.
Well, and that's the conundrum of trying to spread out enough content to make you feel like you have to log in versus giving you really satisfying chunks that you can complete and then say, I did that. I can always come back and do more if I want, like, play PvP or something, but I don't have to come back for other things to make sure I check it off the list of getting whatever title or whatever things that might expire at the end of that season.
Yeah, that tweet resonates too, because in Destiny 1, I felt like you would grind up to a certain level and then spend the rest of the season doing whatever you felt like doing, right? Whether that was Crucible or raiding with your friends, like whatever, however you like to play Destiny, the rest of that DLC was your time to do that. Now I feel like you have to continue to play in kind of a optimized way because you can just continue to get more power. There's always some like quests that you should be working on. I don't know. It's a good thing and it's a bad thing. It's like there's always something you should be doing, but also when I'm playing Destiny, I'm never doing what I want to be doing.
Yeah.
I'm always working towards something and not necessarily playing exactly how I want to play. I don't know. It's a catch-22.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Destiny doesn't give you a lot of time to just do what you want to do in it. There's very minimal time for just I feel like having a day of Crucible and I'm just gonna go do that. Which, there's enjoyable parts of Destiny that are just fun to do because you like shooting stuff or you like going against other players. But
Yeah.
they're always kind of giving you something like, oh well, you really should go work on this thing in this activity, or you
Mhm.
really should go work towards getting that gun. So there's no breathing room to just be like, I feel like just hopping on Destiny and doing some stuff.
Yeah. And by the way,
Like that's
I want to say
Go ahead.
I'm fully aware that that tweet and that comment about like feeling like you completed it is kind of what we had with the Taken King, and then we had a big drought, and
yeah.
like I get it that the flip side is that you have these big droughts, you feel like there's nothing to do in the game if you're still trying to play and do things that feel like you've been rewarded for achieving things in the game. But I don't know if this side of it is technically better at this point. Now that we've been through a few seasons, because the more I see Twitter and the more I see people talking about how this is currently feeling in Destiny, the more I'm not sure if it makes more sense to have those big content drops like you're talking about, Briar, and then have a few months of drought where it's only a few things like Iron Banner. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either. It's really hard because there's good and bad sides to both ways of doing
There is,
it.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like so, and you're never going to please the whole community for sure.
Exactly.
And part of that comes with it, though, is that there's so many people who've come to Destiny for so many different types of games and like for so many different reasons, because Destiny's tried to be so many different things throughout the years.
Yeah.
That the Destiny community is not like an MMO community or a PvP community, or it's all sorts of different people and all sorts of different game players. So there's no way you're ever going to come to a consensus in Destiny because it's just so many different things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's interesting.
And that's good too. Like that's not a bad thing. That's a good thing. I mean, it's just, it attracts all sorts of people. Like the people you meet at like a Destiny convention or, playing like with random people in the Crucible. Like it's an amazing cross section of people.
Yeah.
Yep. It's like and as toxic as the Twitter sphere or Reddit can get, is like the people you meet when you're actually playing the game are often some of the coolest fucking people I've ever met in a game. Like especially coming out of the Call of Duty community. Like I mean, it's mind blowing difference of like the random person that you meet while you're playing Destiny compared to the random person I used to meet playing Call of Duty. It's not even comparable.
And honestly, I think that's why Bungie continues to have this kind of crisis of their identity. They have so many people from so many different communities that like their game, and they've been all of those things at a certain point in their history, that now they can't really rely on their community to tell them where to go. I think Bungie has to look at their game and say, okay, we've kind of dabbled in everything. We've got people who like this and this and this. What do we want for our game? What do we think is the best Destiny that we can make? Mm-hmm. And they just have to commit to it, honestly, and not do all the backpedaling.
And there's some people, if they do that, Watson, I kind of agree that that's what they're going to have to do. Is they're going to have to end up making the game they want to make, right? Yeah. There's going to be people who are left behind.
Oh, yeah. True. There's going to be people that it does not agree with their vision of what they want for Destiny.
And that very well could be somebody on this podcast. Like, if they just decide, like, they're going in this direction, that could very well leave, like, somebody like me behind. Like, I just don't like where Destiny went, Like, it's just not my game anymore.
Year one of D2 was like that for a lot of people, where it was like, man.
I loved year one of D2. I loved it. I was having the best time I've had in D2 was in year one of D2.
Yeah.
Yeah. It turns out I'm casual AF. Like, I loved casual Destiny.
We already knew that, Briar. You're not dropping any bombs on this podcast.
Like I was at my happiest in Destiny 2 in year one.
What was it about that? Just that you didn't need to put in a bunch of time to get the stuff that you wanted, or?
I think it goes back to what we were talking about earlier. Whenever I logged into Destiny, I could do whatever the fuck I wanted. I didn't have to always be worried about, if I want to like maximize my time played in Destiny today, I have to go run public events for the next 8 hours, or I have to play Gambit, or I have to play exactly 5 strikes with this subclass. Then I have to go to Gambit and I have to get all these bounties for Gambit. And I have to play 5 rounds or I have to play 3 rounds of Gambit, then 3 rounds of Gambit Prime. Then I have to go to the Crucible and I have to play 5 rounds of casual Crucible and 5 rounds of competitive Crucible. And then I have to switch characters to do the same shit again.
Were you happy to get Trials gear from Hawthorne?
I'm not saying Destiny 2 year 1 was perfect. I think it just suited my style of playing better.
Yeah.
It's like,
so
I know that's not a popular opinion. Okay. I know that my thoughts about year 1 of Destiny 2 are not popular, but I had more fun in year 1 than I had in year 3 by a long shot.
I do want to point out though, that there was a lot of people who enjoyed year 1 of D2 that were new to Destiny 2. And obviously have been pushed away because it's gone back more towards what it was before. And again, you just can't you can't please everyone, honestly.
Nope.
No, you can't.
Nope. It's gonna be impossible.
But I will say, Briar, your opinion is incorrect. So you're fired now 2 times. Okay.
God damn. I didn't even realize I got rehired again.
Double fired. That's right. It's like double jeopardy.
I just thought you forgot to stop the paychecks. It was a counting error. Do you guys want to talk about that little Twitter picture we saw today?
Sure. What happened?
Okay.
Yeah, what happened?
I'm gonna bring up the picture. I actually lost the picture. I gotta bring it back up.
A little certain someone who was on a call with Bungie devs.
Yeah. So there's this picture. Tom Skerritt posted this picture of himself talking to Bungie, and like it's him in like a Zoom call with like Pete Parsons. Who else is on there? Is Deej in there? Mark Noseworthy is in there.
I hate to grab the picture.
All sorts of people, right? And the funny thing about this picture is that he's in a Zoom call, but his webcam has a Post-it note over it, so he can see them, but they can't see him. I think he might have been spying on Bungie. Tom Skerritt is secretly spying on Bungie. That's the only explanation I can think of.
Yeah.
Is this a teaser for where future seasons are going?
They're going to Top Gun. They're going to Top Gun school. Top Gun the sequel is coming out. We know that.
Crossover.
We know Tom Skerritt is talking to the Bungie devs. So Bungie is clearly developing Top Gun 2, the game.
We figured it out.
What other their new IP
conclusion can you come to?
I think that makes perfect sense. Book it.
Obviously.
Here,
does that mean I'm rehired?
There you go.
You're on probation right now.
Probationary period. I don't know. It's kind of a funny thing.
It is funny. It's also funny that he would put a picture like that on Twitter, being like, "Look who I'm talking to."
Yeah.
In a Zoom call.
Or maybe he just reached out to someone and was like, you know what? I like Destiny. I'm bored. Can I come hang out in your meeting?
I'm motherfucking Tom Skerritt. You're taking my call.
And they were like,
I'm crashing this Zoom party.
I was an alien, motherfuckers.
Although it is interesting to say that Pete Parsons responded to the tweet saying, "So great to have you part of our journey, my friend."
Oh.
A journey.
Our journey.
Bungie's making Journey 2?
What do you think he's going to be?
Maybe he is
new sweeper robot?
The new Eververse store.
Oh, new Eververse.
Fenchurch?
He's Fenchurch.
He's Fenchurch. Does Briar end up hating Sir Tom if he is Eververse?
Sir Tom. Is he a knight?
I don't think so.
Oh.
Although maybe. Who knows? He could be.
Yeah, maybe he'll be like the new bad guy.
Yeah,
although
he's the new Hunter Vanguard.
Yeah, I was thinking that.
He's our new Vanguard.
Yeah, I was thinking Hunter Vanguard too. If he is just talking to Bungie right now, then we're not going to see his work for a very long time, right?
Unless they
I
wanted to
feel
congratulate him.
Yeah, unless this is something that's been happening for a while, and then
You think
they're
this is
just
a
like,
planned.
yeah, this is like a planned little teaser, a little teaseroo.
If you plan this, do you put your real names on the Zoom call photo?
Doesn't everyone know their real names now?
Yeah, right?
I don't know.
It's like on all their Twitters, right? All the people that are in there.
Yeah, I feel like that's relatively public knowledge. It's on their IMDb, all their credit list and all that. Yeah, they might have been filming one of those Bungie docs. You know the Vidocs that Bungie kills every time?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, they can't exactly do that in
They have to do it from home.
Yeah, they got to Vidoc
so
it
maybe
from home.
Scarrett is like the like voiceover for a Bungie doc?
Well, I was saying that they're filming the Vidoc to get it ready for a summer release, and he's got to be part of the call talking about the thing. But even better, he's actually just voiceovering the Vidoc. Yeah. He has nothing to do with the actual game.
Nothing.
Nothing to do.
He's just taking random gigs right now.
Hi, I'm Tom Scarrett from your favorite movies like Top Gun and Alien. Today we're going to be talking about, what is this again? It's kind of funny. You want to talk about Twitter questions?
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
All right, Mr. Goodbite says, would Seraph Tower be better with matchmaking?
Yes.
Why is there not matchmaking? Just straight up.
Why can't I have a 6-man fire team go on patrol?
Why can't I have waffles anytime I want?
You can have waffles anytime you want, my
I
friend.
have waffles in the freezer.
That's my gift to you. Gluten-free.
Thanks, Briar. You're fully rehired.
All right. Yes. Yeah, I would like that. I would like 6-person fire teams in patrol.
Yes.
Even better.
Same.
D says, do you feel that the lie quest should have been an exotic dungeon quest similar to 0 Hour? Okay, so I stole this guy's question.
Yeah.
Those are always exciting.
That would have been dope, man, but that's a hell of a lot more work than saying, hey, just do 7 million, 9 million public events. You know, it's like, it's not comparable amount of work.
I love how you're underselling it, but you're thinking the number's high, and it's like, oh, it's actually 9 million, my bad.
True.
I was like, well, we could have got Season of the Worthy, but don't you think it would have been better if we got another Taken King?
Right?
Oh, man, totally.
That's a good point.
Yeah, that'd be better.
Yeah, that would be better.
What if instead of the season pass, they just do like a Taken King style DLC once every month or so?
That's brilliant.
That is
think
brilliant.
so.
Easy.
Hey,
Bungie should
Bungie,
hire you, Brian.
write that one down.
Just multiply the Bungie Studios by 8. We're good.
No, copy paste.
Yeah. Copy paste.
Young Flea brings up that that tweet that Tefty mentioned earlier, so I'm just going to skip by that one. Achievement Raider says, Holtz recently tweeted his favorite job opening at Hot Topic, and I was looking it over. Under recommended skills, Bungie used the word Sherpa. What do you think Bungie considers requirements to be a Sherpa? What are DCP's Sherpa requirements?
You got to get really angry really fast when somebody screws up something. You know, like ready to like call them really
Shows
bad names.
true leadership skills.
Yeah.
I'd say. Yeah.
It says you ain't messing around. No funny business during these serious video games.
There will be no laughing, no giggles.
If I hear any
no
crinkling,
no chuckles, for God's sakes.
if I hear any crinkling of the chip bag, that's it. Booted.
You're gone. Not only am I going to kick you out of this fire team, but I'm coming for your family.
Damn, Liam Neeson.
John NC454 Rattleboro says, what happened to Crucible?
It's still there. You can play it. Also, it is releasing on May 20th from Amazon Studios.
Oh. Is that going to be a good show?
It's a game.
Oh, my bad. It's a game. Is that going to be a good game?
It's a new arena shooter from Amazon Studios called Crucible.
Right. I have yet to connect that Amazon's putting out games. There's still like a streaming
a video game.
You know, it's like tons of whatever you want online plus streaming video right now. It's yet to be a video game service for me in my mind.
Mm-hmm.
They put out a game already, right?
Did they?
I think they did. I don't know. I'm gonna say they did. Definitely.
Yeah.
Deranged Shaman says, what if Destiny 3 does take another 3 to 4 years to come out, but when it does, it includes Destiny 1 and Destiny 2, as well as a full story through line, as well as reworked abilities, armor, and weapons that carry over and accumulate until the end?
You're trolling.
So what
me, right?
if? What if?
What if we took D1 and then added another D1 to create D2, and then we added a D2 and a D2 to create D4, and it released with D3, a whole new story with a new universe and new planets?
What if?
Mega Destiny! Ultimate Destiny.
What if?
What if?
Here's my problem. Whenever somebody starts talking about like they should re-release Destiny 1, my thought is that'll be great. I'll play through that once, and then I'll never touch that content again because I played it for 3 years. Like I'm not going to engage in that content in a big way because I already played it to death. You know what I mean?
What if they re-released year 1 of D2 for you, Briar?
I played it to death
On the Switch?
I played
On
it.
the Switch, man.
Switch?
Fuck, you
On
got
the
me.
Switch. Come on.
If they brought it to the Switch, I would start playing it.
What if they made Destiny 3 a Soulsborne title?
Oh,
Them damn taking
To be
captains.
fair,
are they making that for the
Destiny's-
PlayStation 5? What's that called?
Godfall?
Godfall.
Godsmack. To be fair, Destiny's world creation in a game like that, I'd kind of dig it.
That would be
Yeah, I'd
fun.
be down with it.
Yeah.
If they did a Soulsborne game, though, it'd be like the tower got destroyed, all the Guardians are dead, and we're just like we're trying to figure out what happened.
You're picking up the pieces of the aftermath?
Yeah.
Yeah, that would make sense.
Yeah. What if that Deranged Shaman? That's my question to you.
Yeah, that's my question
What
to
if?
you. What if?
What if?
What if waffles? What if we all had waffles?
Sudden waffles.
Magic says, with the weapon sunset for legendary items, do you think Bungie will make exceptions for the Mida mini tool or the Drang? Both of these weapons specifically couple with an exotic that is not subject to the power cap.
That's a good point. Didn't think about that.
That is a good
That is
point.
an interesting point.
Yeah, I mean, I think they
I
have to.
No idea.
They stopped doing that, though.
I'd hope that they would.
Oh, actually, what they could do is they could always just bring in a new thing, a new Drain complement.
A reissue?
They could reissue. Bruh. Well, what they did was they brought in, what was it called for the opulent version in Menagerie?
Yeah, the
Oh, yeah.
opulent drain. Yeah.
Yeah, they had opulent Drain, so they could do the same thing for future stuff that's out there.
Fenrir says, if there's going to be a darkness subclass somewhere in Destiny's future, what would you call these subclasses and what would you want them to be able to do? I just want to make a quick note about this for future questions based on dark subclasses. We get a lot of questions asking for speculation on the dark subclasses, and we've speculated a lot about them in the past, so I don't pick a lot of these, just so you guys know. When you're asking a question about dark subclasses, like we've talked about what we'd like to see them, we talked about what we'd like them to be called, like we've talked a lot about them in past episodes, so I usually don't pick them.
It's also kind of like, what would you make a brand new exotic? What would it be? You fill out all the details.
Yeah, it's hard to answer on the spot. It's hard to, make any sense.
I
of
got
it.
it.
You put no thought into it.
My super takes us to the dark realm. I grow horns and have special abilities in said dark realm. That's what I want.
Do you
That's my
perchance take on certain demon-like abilities?
I do. How did you know, Tefty?
And are the core of the soul available throughout drops?
You go and collect souls around the world of Destiny to up your
I like where
super
your head's
even
at.
further.
Could even call him
Mhm.
yokai. Oh, it's Neo too.
My dark super would be called the Moonwalker.
The
And
moon
every
walk.
time I hit it, every time I activated it, all enemies nearby started dancing like Michael Jackson It's Moonwalker, just like the Genesis
Amazing.
game.
I can't believe you want this game to be like Fortnite, Briar. Jesus, man. You of all people.
Do they do that in Fortnite?
Oh, there's
It's
a dance bomb.
Well, that's amazing. Apparently, I want this game to be like Fortnite. K-Brass says, what if the shotgun ends up being just an average shotgun?
Well, it is a lie.
Counterpoint, what if it ends up being Fellwinter's fucking lie?
True.
True. I think we have more of a problem if it ends up being Fellwinter's lie than if it's just, oh, hey, look, it's a shotgun.
There's still a video of me, the first time I used that gun in Destiny 1, laughing hysterically, like, I can't believe how far away this gun can kill from. Like, it's like, that was a ridiculous weapon.
It was.
Gerald Gay says, do y'all feel there is way too many items in Destiny 2, as in gear and guns and exotics are way too easy to obtain? In Destiny 1, I had a warm... Oh, wait, I think there's supposed to be a period there. In Destiny 1, I had a warm, fuzzy feeling when I got an exotic. For me, I think there should be another period there. For me, it should be more rare to get an exotic item.
Yeah, no, I do think that we've gotten to the point where exotics are handed out way too much. You know, we have a season pass that as soon as you purchase a season pass, you get a free exotic just right at the beginning. Exotics were supposed to be this thing that didn't have super high drop rates, hence why they are exotic. And they were really cool when you got them. They dropped in the world or they dropped from the end of a match and you were excited. I think Bungie, again, doesn't know what they want it to be. And we're like, oh, well, don't want people to be missing out on the exotic for like 2 years and not be able to use it. So let's just hand them out as soon as possible.
They started this with vanilla D2. So once again, Briar, you are wrong about this. Bad time. Bad time in Destiny's history. They just handed out exotics for people. It'd be like, you did some basic stuff. Congratulations, here's an exotic. Attaboy.
Exotics should be rare. Rare. Just rare.
They were in D1.
Just rare. I don't care if it's super difficult to get or just the RNG is brutal. Either way.
Remember Gallahorn being like insanely rare for a lot of people? I mean, it was rare for me.
I also remember people not being allowed to be in raid teams because they didn't have Gallahorn.
Yeah, screw those people.
That's true. Screw those people.
That's how you lead a proper raid, right?
God. First of all, if you need people to have Gallahorn to do a raid, what are you doing in that raid?
Yeah, if that's a requirement, then maybe you need to get kicked out of the raid.
Yeah, maybe you need to drink some
maybe you
juice.
suck at Destiny. If you need 6 Gallahorns to complete a raid.
Yep.
Kyle Allen says, how does Destiny 2 feel compared to Destiny 1 for you guys? For me, the fantasy element is missing right now, and the loot is not enticing. I miss some aspects of D1, but I also recognize that D2 has made improvements in different areas.
They made improvements, but there's still some road to cover.
There's that thing missing from D1 where I used to get really excited when certain things dropped. Like we were just talking about exotics. There was always that feeling of you remember where you got it. You remember what you were doing. Every exotic had a story about it. Every cool thing that you got had a story about it. So, yeah, we're missing that from Destiny right now. I don't have any cool stories.
Destiny 1 felt new and fresh. It was completely revolutionary in video games at the time. There was nothing else like it. Destiny 2 didn't have that going for it. And to be honest, they've made so many changes to Destiny 2 that make it feel more like Destiny 1. Like they keep making it more and more like Destiny 1 that I feel less and less new and fresh about Destiny 2 all the time.
No. ...
That's his Twitter handle says, would you rather eat 15 pounds of crawfish with Patrick or do 15 hours of Seraph Tower public events with blueberries that have no idea what to do? Why would you compare something that is completely enjoyable, having some delicious food with Patrick, to something that is really boring? 15 hours of Seraph Tower public events.
Yeah, I'd get to catch up.
I get to sit down and have food.
Yeah, I get to catch up with Pat. Like, also, this is like assuming there's no pandemic going on, so even better.
Yeah. I'm definitely going 15 hours at Seraph Tower. I mean, that is way more enjoyable.
Yeah, why not?
Treadnought says, you've been cursed, but you are given 2 options. Option A is from now on, you'll have a typo in everything you write or type.
Ooh.
Option B is you always forget the name of the person you're talking to.
Oh, that happens all the time anyway.
Yeah.
B.
That's what I thought too. Watts, when I read this, I'm like, I currently have both of these afflictions. So you're basically saying that you'll take one of these away from me? Like, do whatever.
I'll be going B. I'll just be very obvious and be like, oh, I'm so sorry. I keep forgetting people's names. It's not that you're forgettable. It's just I have a condition where I forget your name.
Yeah. Like, look, I don't remember anything. Sorry. But I like you. I just don't know what your name is.
Yeah.
Wait, can I give everyone nicknames? So I don't know their name, but I assign everyone who I meet a nickname, so I have something to call them.
Yeah, I'd be like,
but it can't be the same nickname for everybody. You can't just go around and saying, "Hey, Chief."
Yeah, you'd be like, that's mint julep. That's mint julep. That's scalloped potatoes. That's yakky yakums. You know.
Bubba J77 says, what's the one game that you could sit and watch someone else play all day? Watch someone else play all day.
One game, so there's a couple games that I could do this with. There was Final Fantasy VII Remake. I can watch everyone play that because I like seeing their reaction to stuff. And then like Souls games or any type of Souls-like game because everyone approaches bosses a little bit differently. People approach builds differently. So it's the same thing with Final Fantasy. You can approach fights totally different. So it's cool to watch people approach things in completely different manners that you've already played. Love those. Yeah, blind playthroughs of Souls games are freaking hilarious.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's rough.
Bloodborne is pretty great to watch when someone hasn't played it before.
Great.
Oh my god.
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking that if they make a PlayStation 5 version of like a remake or a reissue of Bloodborne, like that is gonna be really fun for a bunch of people to get into and stream again.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that happens.
When people are building things in Minecraft, I think it is very enjoyable to just like chill and watch when like things are being constructed. You know, when it's not mindless, there's like a vision that's happening. I think it's great. So I feel like I could watch that for a long time, so long as they're actually making something.
My favorite stream of all time that I've ever watched, period, was Tefty playing Planet Coaster. It was, I could have watched it. It was Tefty used to stream at night. You know, Tefty streams at night. It's when I'm going to bed. I could literally turn it on. Tefty's voice would just soothe me to sleep while he's like very mellowly building a roller coaster. It was great. It was like
it was amazing
dream. It was.
Planet Coaster was Tefty's brand. If Tefty has a brand, it should be evening, relaxing, talk you to sleep while making some cool stuff.
Yeah,
that's Tefty's stream.
Oh my god!
Don't mistake me saying it was great to go to sleep by saying it was boring. It wasn't boring.
No, it's amazing.
It was fun.
The perfect thing to go to sleep to is something that is interesting, so it keeps you engaged and you're watching it and you're having a good time, but soothing and a very similar volume level to where you can fall asleep to it.
Yeah,
finding that perfect mixture is difficult.
On YouTube.
They are on YouTube.
Okay.
Oh my god.
Choo Choo says, I know that Tefty and Fran are musicians, but the other guys should be able to answer. You're about to end your nasty guitar solo with this big one note. Tone or timing? Do you prefer that the note sounds good, but is out of time, or that the note sounds horrible, but it's on beat?
Out of time. Definitely.
Yeah.
100%.
Like that's just the jazz musician in me coming out. You know, like I play the right note, I'm good. I just decided, hold up. Okay, now you can have it.
Yeah, a sour note you can't really fix, but a note that's out of time, it can be like if you hear it a certain way. Yeah, if you hear it, like you can literally like listen to things in different ways and hear different rhythms out of stuff. So on certain listenings, it can sound like it was intentional. Other listens, it can be like, oh, that was off, but it's humanistic, feels natural. Then also, you could always go in and post and time align it. So there you go. You fixed
For some
it.
reason, I pictured this being live, but yeah, you could definitely go into post and fix.
Did he say live?
Difference. No.
There you go.
No, I added that myself.
Even if it was live.
Livix says, "Why are time zones so goddamn annoying?"
Because the world is unfortunately not flat. Sorry to break it to you, Brian.
Wait, what? Are you a round earther?
Sorry, Brian.
Rounder.
In these times of crisis, don't you have like some? Can't you just like stay away from your round Earth conspiracy theories for a little bit? Do you really need to be bringing those up during this like time of crisis? We've got the quarantini to deal with.
Brian, you need to put the quarantinis down.
How many quarantinis are you going through a day, Briar?
Yeah, how
many?
I like the quarantinis.
They comfort my soul.
Blandy McBlanderson says, in 2014, researchers from Harvard and University of Virginia conducted a study in which subjects were given a choice to sit quietly with their thoughts for 15 minutes or self-administer electrical shocks. Most chose the shocks. What would you choose? Sit quietly for 15 minutes?
Seriously?
Or shocks?
15 minutes.
Has anybody ever heard of meditation? Like 15
I mean,
minutes.
you didn't give exact percentages here, but I'm guessing
15 minutes ain't that long.
it's not that long.
15 minutes.
However, I do kind of want to know how bad the electrical shock is going to be. So I might give myself one just to see. This is like a trial shock.
I actively seek out 15-minute chunks to try to like calm my mind.
Like,
yeah.
Did they really hook this up to electrical shock? Because I don't feel like they did. Like, I don't think like this is probably just a test. Like, do you believe
it might have been? It might have been a
give
test.
you an electrical shock if you hit this button? Like,
Mm.
I'm hitting that button. Like, there's no way I see myself not hitting that button. I've got to know if I'm actually going to get electrical shock if I hit this button.
Oh man.
It could be a bunch of round earthers like trying to fool me into thinking there's no electrical shock on this button.
It could be, Briar. Got to test it out.
Got to find out.
Got to find out if it's true.
I'm supposed to just trust a bunch of scientists? Look where that's gotten us. Philly Rhino says, you are all surviving a plane crash in the... Oh, God, I don't like where this is going to go. You're all surviving a plane crash in the Amazon. What happens next? And who narrates the Netflix documentary about it?
Tom Skerritt is obviously narrating.
Yeah, absolutely. And then we eat Briar for dinner.
Briar obviously gets eaten because someone's got to.
This will be a story about how we became cannibals when we landed on an island and Briar was looking juicy.
Yeah. And he happened to cover himself in, what was it? Cool Ranch?
Cool Ranch Doritos.
Even more delicious.
He gave himself a dry rub.
He was trying to make himself not seem delicious. Cool Ranch dry rub barbecue Briar. Perfect.
Party for You says, is cereal... Oh, wait, who's narrating? Is it Tom Skerritt? Tom Skerritt.
Yeah.
Tom
Yeah.
Skerritt.
Okay. Sparty for You says, is cereal a soup? Have we asked this one before? I feel like this one's been on the show
This
before.
is an age-old question.
This is the...
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What,
No.
Do we have a consensus or did we argue
No,
about
it's
it?
not.
Well,
I
what do you
would
guys
say
think?
no,
Cereal,
but oatmeal can be hot and soups are hot.
Oatmeal's oatmeal.
But what is oatmeal?
It's also not a soup. If it's soupy, you're making oatmeal wrong.
It's oatmeal.
Pour more milk. Make it soupy.
You can make cement soupy. That doesn't make it soup.
True.
The things have names for a reason. Okay.
That's right.
Yeah.
What is going to signify a soup, though?
If it's
the
a soup.
label on the can says soup.
You could say soup oatmeal. It's on the can.
I wouldn't buy that. Those people are clearly anarchists. They have no regard for what is right and what is good.
It might go out of business.
Down earthers.
They might not sell much, for sure. I'm just saying. If we're going to go for semantics here, what exactly signifies soup? All right. Legit, I think soup is signified by starting with some sort of like broth starter. You know, whether it's like a chicken broth or like a, you know, you got to have some sort of like.
Is ramen soup?
Wouldn't it? Wouldn't it be a form of soup though? Because you can have chicken noodle soup and there's noodles in there and ramen has noodles. Right?
That's a more interesting question than cereal to me.
Yeah, the cereal one is like
drain all the water out of the ramen.
Then it's just noodles.
That's actually just having noodles then? Yeah.
Ramen noodles.
We have officially exploded.
Think about it.
We have reached an impasse.
Maximum DCP has passed.
Oh man, this is the last question. It's only like 10:30. It's early.
Well,
ZC Junior 82 says, when a giraffe wears a tie, does he wear it at the top of the neck or at the bottom of the neck?
Bottom.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with bottom, like at the base where it meets the shoulders, because the tie is coming down its front, like chest. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, because imagine if it's up here, then it's just some really uptight zebra that you're like, listen, zebra, chill, man. It's all good.
What if it's a bow tie? Does that change your answer?
Yes.
Yeah.
Maybe. I think if it's a bow tie, it would look better if it's at the top. But if it's a tie, it looks better at the bottom. Imagine it. Picture it. Look it up on Google.
It's so inconsistent, though.
I feel like
bow tie's up top.
If
no, it totally makes sense. Think about it.
No, but you're thinking like a small bow tie, like a, you know,
yeah.
How do you do? You know, like this is, you know. I'm thinking like it's actually a pretty big bow tie that's on his chest. You know?
A big bow tie.
Yeah, you know.
Then I think that's just a bow, not necessarily a bow tie.
Well, it's a bow tie. A bow tie is a bow, right?
Yeah, once it gets big enough, I mean, it's no longer like a neck ornament.
No.
We're like talking about a zebra. Do you think
a giraffe?
All right.
No, we're not.
Hold up. Did you say zebra? Wow, I could have swore I thought you said zebra. My bad.
Does that change your answer?
I feel, you know, man, a giraffe.
A
it's
giraffe.
a whole different world now.
Tie at the bottom, bow tie at the top. Telling you.
I don't know now. I feel like you got two factions. You know, you get the base of the neck factions, and you got like up top.
I think Watson's got it right. The bow tie always goes to the top, but it keeps falling down, so he's constantly like trying to slide it back up. But the necktie, that's got to go in the bottom because it's got to go down the chest. It's gonna. How's it gonna be at the top? It's gonna be like flapping in the breeze all the time, wrapping around his neck.
Why does it have a tie on in the first place?
Because he wants to be fancy, doesn't he?
Yeah. Is he going to a dinner?
Dinner, you know?
Yeah.
A foliage brunch?
Yeah.
A little wedding kind of dinner reception thing.
The giraffe's got to get married.
Yeah. King of the jungle found his queen, you know? We're gonna do it upright.
It's not gonna be lunch for another animal?
No, it's a giraffe.
Yeah.
He's too tall.
Haven't you ever seen The Lion King? What the fuck, man?
Yeah, man, it was super sad.
That's it. I feel like this is too short a show, though.
It's okay. You know?
Let's say we've all had a long week of throwing balls at other balls, trying to progress a quest. It's been we're sleepy from all the
so quarantine thing is exhausting to be honest.
We've all had a long week of that.
All of us.
Totally. It's been rough, right, Briar?
It's been
rough. Oh yeah, all right.
Progressing that quest line.
So many public events. I've really been doing my part. Like
I mean, I've been progressing a quest line.
Yeah.
I have.
I've been watching one progress from afar.
All right.
Well, thank you to our guest, Tom Skerritt. It was a real joy to have you on board this show. I mean, good Lord. The conversation was just out of this world. I don't think we'll ever have a guest like you again.
We weren't
Thank
supposed
you so
to
much,
mention
man.
anything about him.
Oh.
He wanted to be quietly observing the
Supposed to be a
podcast
silent guest.
for his new role in the Destiny universe.
Oh.
A silent fourth. All right. Well, that's episode 188. Thank you very much, guys, for watching DCP. We appreciate it. Shout out to all of our supporters. Shout out to Tom Skerritt.
Shout out to Tom Skerritt.
For enriching our lives with more stuff that's coming in the future, potentially in the Destiny universe. What a good guy. What a nice guy.
For subscribing to our Patreon and our Twitch channel.
Yeah,
and always watching on all the podcast platforms.
He does all that. It's amazing. Thanks, Tom. Watts, where can people find you?
You can find me on Twitch, Twitter, and YouTube. Just look for Miss 5000 Watts. And I also have a new YouTube channel where I'm uploading complete playthroughs of stuff we do on Twitch. That's just Watts Plays on YouTube. So you can just find uncut VODs of 6-hour chunks. Easy watching. Easy viewing.
I'm Rye Rabbit. You can find me Googling to see if Top Gun is available on Amazon Prime or Netflix. And I'll see you guys at Side Quest on Monday, where I've got a lot to say about Street Fighter V Champion Edition.
Yeah. We'll be talking about Ghost of Tsushima as well.
Yeah. And did you guys see that new Unreal 5 demo?
Oh, yeah.
Talk about that.
Lots to talk about on Monday.
For audio listeners, my mouth is a gap. A gape.
A gap.
Oh,
a gap.
A gapped mouth. Awesome.
Had too many quarantinis.
if you want to find more of me, you can talk to me at Teft on Twitter and catch my streams, twitch.tv/TeftyTeft. I have been playing Neo 2 this week. Been enjoying that. I may chuck a ball at a Seraph Tower. Maybe not. We'll see. I don't know. So, I did get an Xbox Elite Scuf 2. I mean, not Scuf. Sorry. Xbox. An Xbox Elite 2 controller. That came in the mail today. I might test it out tomorrow. We'll see. So anyways, thanks for watching. Really appreciate it, guys. You're all amazing. See you next week for another episode of DCP. And again, side quests on Mondays, 1 p.m. Pacific, where we'll talk about all those other things as well.
Don't forget to run a Seraph Tower event at the weekend because the percentage is up to 10.
It's going to be 9 million.
It's going to be a times 10 multiplier. Woo.
Just run your one, say you contributed. Yeah, you did your part. Good work.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.